What's up, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram? It's your girl, Constance Carter. And I'm coming to you live and direct on all of these platforms. I'm on about 9 different platforms, and I know I have people who join in from all over the world. So as you are coming in and as you are joining me, I want you to put in the comments where you're watching from because I don't know what's going on Facebook. I have people who typically like to watch from all over the world. Yesterday we had somebody from Ghana, we had people from Australia, London. Let me know where you're hailing from. Where are you watching your girl Constance Carter from? So I can acknowledge you, I can shout you out. Um, and I'm just kind of stalling too because uh I'm trying to I'm trying to make I got to figure out StreamYard because it on my main Facebook page it automatically goes to like private or something like that. So anyway, put on the comments where you watching me from because I know I have people that are watching from all over the world, and I like to give you information and news that you could use. I see we got people from Egypt. Listen, we got, I have a huge following in Africa, all over the continent of Africa. I love you guys. You guys be all up in my DMs talking about you want to marry me. That's so dope. But I'm not getting married to anybody from any other country. I see people from Las Vegas, from Florida, Baltimore, ATL, what's happening from Minnesota, Peru, New York, from Somalia. Where you guys at on Instagram? From California. What's happening? All right. So, as you know, I like to have a dialogue and not a monologue. This is a reciprocal conversation. Okay. I don't want you just to watch me, I want you to engage. So, put in the comments box, what your thoughts are about what I'm saying. If you have anything to contribute, because listen, I'm not an expert in everything. I'm just sharing with you information that I have that I want to share with you because I'm a business owner, I'm an entrepreneur, and I've also raised entrepreneurs and business owners. And if you see me looking back, I got Instagram up here, and I got Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube down here. But I'm an entrepreneur and I've raised entrepreneurs. My children are entrepreneurs. And I want to just help you to, even if you're not an entrepreneur, perhaps your children want to be entrepreneurs. And so, you as a parent, or if you are, a minor and you're watching this is for you. So I want to make sure that you are sharing this information. Make sure you subscribe to the Fly Nubian Queen. Make sure this is Fly Nubian Money in partnership with Dr. Boyce Watkins. Make sure you follow Constance Carter on YouTube at CC the CEO. Want to change your life? Come see me, yo. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at I am Constance Carter, and on Facebook at I am Constance Carter. I'm at 95,000 followers on Facebook. So make sure you share this out to people so that they can follow me. What's up? I got Alfonso from Detroit, Neffy from Dallas. Thank you. So there's so many ways and there's so many things that we can do. Let's just jump right into it. I want to help you to help your kids to become entrepreneurs. And my reasoning behind this, like I said, my kids are entrepreneurs. So let me just give you a little background. If you have not never heard of me, I formed and built the largest Black-owned real estate firm in California. Last year, close to my offices moved to the East Coast. And so now I'm helping Black women to be able to increase their net worth by 7 figures. But during my journey, I've learned a lot. I've also imparted and poured into my own children. So when my kids were 12, no, when my oldest son was 12, daughter was, so she had to be 17, and my youngest was 9, and one was 12, 10, 8. I bought them the Dr. Boyce Watkins stock trading program on the Black Business School. This is before I knew Boyce personally. Now Boyce is the homeboy. He's my friend, and we're partnering on some things. But before I even knew him, I seen him. I seen his stuff advertised, and I bought this stock trading program for him. And I bought it for my kids, and I told them, if you finish this course, I will invest $1,000 so that you can start investing in stock. So daughter, she was like, if it didn't have to do with Instagram, and she's rich, so she didn't do it. My youngest two, they were just too small, and their attention span was that of a gnat. But my oldest son, he was 12 at the time. He was so excited. And I wish I could show you the video. I may have the video on here on StreamYard. But my son, um, he finished the program, and I ended up investing $1,000 into him, and he ended up making turn that $1,000 into $8,000. That's when he was 12. And so then in 2020, I had about $7,000 in my stock portfolio. So he turned that 7,000 into $40,000 in a matter of a couple of months. So then my son then took the information that he knew, and he had a group on Telegram. It was called Stock Tips and Tricks with Warren. And he had over 200 people in his group that were paying anywhere between $5 and $20 a month. So my son created a business out of his knowledge and wisdom and know-how. Do you understand where I'm going? So perhaps there's something, some kind of gift or talent that your child has that can be monetizable. As the parent, I just want you to encourage them. I want you to encourage them, let them know that the possibilities and the opportunities are out there. I remember when I was in real estate, and when you talk about the parent and the child dynamic, and I'm gonna talk about my dad real quick. And my dad is the best person ever in this world. He is my superhero. He's Superman. He is the best man that I know, hands down. But when I was opening up my business, my dad, I was telling him about, I ended up postponing opening up my own business for about a year because um, the CEO found out I was opening up a business, and I was like one of the top producers out of 400 or 500 people. And he was like, "Oh, we want you to stay here." So he offered me a little office, a little management position, and I ended up taking it, and I shouldn't have. So about a year later, I said, "Okay, it's time for me to go out on my own." And I was telling my dad, "Dad, man, I should have went out last year on my own. There's this other guy who went out on his own. He's doing so well. He's so successful." And my dad told me, "Well, you're not going to be as successful as him because you're black and you're a woman, and he's white and he's a man." Now, my dad told me when I was little that I was going to be the president of the United States, and I believed him. And he didn't tell me that because he didn't believe in me. Those were his own limitations. So, don't we know that sometimes we place our own limitations and our limiting beliefs on other people that we love? We discourage them from doing things because we can't see the vision. Now, my dad is awesome. Now, now now him looking at me like, "I always knew you could do it, baby." But at the time, he was like, and when he said that, I was just like, shit, I felt like silly on the color purple when Mr. said, "You're black, you're ugly, you're a woman." You know what I'm saying? Like, where are we in 1935? What the hell's going on? But as parents, sometimes we put our limitations on our children. So I want to just encourage you, when you see a talent or a gift that maybe your child displays, encourage that entrepreneurial spirit within them. Just because you don't have it, it doesn't mean that they can't have it. So I want you to encourage that. Okay. Um, but when we're talking about entrepreneurs, and I'm sorry on Instagram because you don't have StreamYard, but I want to talk to you about a few different entrepreneurs, and I'm gonna put their faces on here. But let's start here. I always say that we have more power because after Michael V. Roberts, when I had a conversation with him, he's a black billionaire. But one of the things he says that, and I've taken up that mantra, that we have more power in the palm of our hands with our cell phones than they had when they put the man on the moon. So while our kids are scrolling through TikTok all day, my kids scroll through TikTok all day. While they're scrolling, they could be doing something more productive. So there's this kid named Khalil. I don't know if you heard of him. He got this following on TikTok, and he came up with a hair care product called King Curls. And I'm gonna post it on the I'm gonna post him on Facebook. I can't post him on Instagram, but his name is Khalil. Now this boy, I think he just launched last year or something like that. He has a company called King Curls. He's from Atlanta. He got with a chemist. He utilized his social media to promote this brand. And now this kid is making millions of dollars through the power of the internet, through the power of social media. Understand that while your kids are scrolling through TikTok all day, they could be creating something. And I try to encourage my younger two kids. I really do. Everybody doesn't have that entrepreneurial spirit. Let's just keep it real. My oldest two do. My daughter, she has a hair care line. She has a marketing business. My son, he's in college right now, so he's not really doing his stock stuff anymore. But he gonna be my ticket out the ghetto. Shh, don't tell nobody. He definitely has an entrepreneurial spirit. So I'm just, I'm allowing him to sit inside of his what he's doing. But the other ones may be entrepreneurs too. I'm not saying that they're not, but I'm allowing them to develop as they develop. They did. My youngest son, my 14-year-old son, he did ask me if he could start doing a drop shipping business, if I would invest in a drop shipping business with him. So I took a little webinar, me, him, and my other son. We did a little webinar of a drop shipping company. They will start everything for you, and you could do this for your kids. They will do everything for you. All you have to do is do the advertising and the marketing. So you could have a drop shipping business that's already set up, that people are making thousands upon thousands of dollars a month, 10 to 50 to $100,000 a month inside drop shipping. If you want to invest that kind of money into that, they could do it for free. They could think of the business and do it for free, where they won't have to pay this for this investment. But this is something. This is like in a box. And so I did the webinar with my boys. And I'm gonna keep it real. I didn't invest the money. You know why? Because I said, if you can start cleaning up your room, you can start washing your clothes on time, and you can show me that you're responsible, then I'll make the investment. But I am not investing $10,000 for you two ninjas, and y'all can't even clean up after yourself. So once they show me the level of maturity and that they're serious in doing it, I will invest everything that I could into my children. Once they show me that they are willing to put in the work, my kids, they're not, they don't. They ain't cleaning up their room good. So I'm not going to do that for them. However, um, for you, say you have a child that express a desire to do that, and you have the means to be able to invest in your children, why not? I did it for all of my kids. I invested thousands of dollars in my daughter's hair business. I'll do that for somebody who I'm going to see a ROI with. I bought them their Airbnbs, my son's Airbnb, my daughter's Airbnb. There is an ROI that they get by way of working through the businesses that I've invested in them. So when my other boys are mature enough, when my 14 and my 16-year-old, well, now they're going to be 15 and 17, are mature enough, and they can show me that they're going to work this business, I will absolutely invest in them. But drop shipping is another way that they can start, where like I said, if they do it from scratch, if they can scroll on TikTok all day, because that's what most of your kids are doing, is scrolling on TikTok all day, then they could take that time, their talents, to start investing in a business. Now here's the thing: they need an idea. That's number one. They have an idea, encourage that idea. Number two, all they need is a phone. Gone are the days that you need an office, that you have to invest in a brick and mortar. Gone are the days that you got to get a loan from a white man at a bank. Gone are the days that you have to ask permission, that you have to hide your identity. Gone are the days, because with the power of the internet, you can make anything happen. I did a live yesterday, and I talked about I'll post a video later. I did a video too. I was doing some research, and I read that on CNBC they published an article that said, after the pandemic, Black people, our net worth increased by an astronomical amount, way more than everybody else's, because we have the power of the internet. I did a TED Talk. It's called Google That Shit. And it said 4 ways so that we can close the wealth gap, because there was an article in Forbes that's in 2017 that said by the year 2053, our net worth is going to be a zero. And I was like, I don't believe that, because we have all of these options. But here's the thing: with the power of the internet, anything is possible, you guys. We have the power in the palm of our hands to create anything. This doesn't just go for our kids, but this goes for us too. But as we train our kids, sometimes we might think it's too late for us, and it's not. As long as you got breath in your body, it's not too late. But encourage them, change those limitations, help them to understand that there are people just like them. There's a kid named Mo's Bows. He was all over Steve Harvey. He was in all kind of magazines. His grandmother taught him to sew. He made bow ties. All he did was make bow ties. And he he established a multi-million-dollar business. It was from his love and his passion. And so that's what we have to do there. With the power of the internet, you can monetize these kids. They have the code to break the internet. if it's um guided in the right manner, they'll be able to do it. There's a kid who established a device out of a need when kids were dying in cars. He established this company called Oasis, which was a device that lets you know that there are kids that you left your kids in the car. These kids are just thinking of stuff. Remember, if you have an idea, the idea, because there are so many times where we've had these ideas and we didn't execute on them, and then somebody else came up with the idea, and then they executed on them, and they made millions of dollars. The idea doesn't belong to he who thinks it; it belongs to he who executes it. I don't care how dope your idea is, if it's just sitting in your brain, it ain't going nowhere. It's not helping anybody. How do you get outside your brain? And so when somebody else does it, or you can't even, that's here's another thing. Don't be telling everybody, what your dreams are, because then you don't want somebody else to take it and run with it. Don't tell me your dream, because I'm gonna take that and if I like it, I'm gonna run with it. Not that I'm trying to steal your idea, but I'm not the big ideation person. I'm not the person that has a big idea. I'm the person that is an executor. That's just my strength. My strength is not ideation. I've taken my Gallup's top 5 strengths assessment, and my strength is not ideation. I hire people to help me with ideas. When somebody told me, "Oh, you should write a book about credit," I was like, "Okay." Wrote a book about credit. It became a bestseller. Somebody told me, "Oh, you should have t-shirts." This is my t-shirt. Speak life. Your words are prophetic on conversationtees.com. Somebody told me to do it. I ain't had a mind to do it. Almost everything that I've done has been from the mind of somebody else. Know what your strengths are. But make sure that you execute on the things that come to your mind. Also, I'm one of those people who I think I have a dope ass idea in the middle of the night when I'm sleeping, and then I'd be like, yeah. And then I go and register a domain name, and I'll wake up and I'll be like, that idea was so stupid. But I ain't afraid to execute on it. And so that's the biggest thing, is don't be afraid to execute. Encourage your kids not to be afraid to execute, because it takes tenacity. It takes work ethic. It takes discipline. Make sure that you are staying the course. The thing with my son, come here, son. This is my son Warren.
Oh, you gonna put me in it?
I'm gonna put you in it real quick. This is the one that did the stock when he was 12. Boy, don't knock the thing down. When he was 12, I bought him the doctor. Come down here so they could see you, son. When he was 12, and he did all kind of interviews. He was motivational speaking at 16 years old. And so when he was 12, I bought him that stock trading program. And then when he was 16, he started a group where he was helping other people. So what is that thing that you could do where you're helping other people? This man was making so much money on that in that group. Like, this boy still got hella clothes from a couple of years ago because he was just making so much money. But then now he's in college and he's doing his college thing, and that's what he's doing now. But he had an idea and he executed on it. What you doing now, son?
About what?
What you gonna do? What's your entrepreneurial goals right now? Next, what's next for you?
What's next? And you should have let me think about that question.
It's okay.
Well, right now I'm just focusing on working, uh, getting my money up, and then going to the gym, just focusing on myself, stuff like that. But that entrepreneurial stuff, that's gonna come back soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, I remember, because we have conversations about like wealth building all the time, right? So he and I talk, and he was like, "Mom, you should see this guy on YouTube. He did this and he did this." And so one of the things he's doing is he's taking the information that he's getting from like YouTube, and there's just so much information out there that they can get, and right, and it's execution. So thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too. Should let me think about that question.
It was kind of impromptu, so
Ask you first.
yeah. But he ended up, um, doing other stuff. Got girlfriends. He ended up starting liking girls when he got bored. That's kind of what happened with the business. But this was kids, right? You heard me. But that's what it was. Like, he did the stock group. He was doing extremely well. Not distracted. I'm real. But there's no doubt in my mind that kid is going to do something extremely great. he just wants to make an impact on the world. And that's what I love. When he was 12 years old, he told me, and I think he was eighth grade. I don't know how old you are in eighth grade, but he told me in eighth grade, he said, Mom, my biggest fear in life is that I'm not going to be successful. And I was like, well, why would that be your fear? Like, but he's so focused on, like, his life and success and all of that stuff, that it lets me know that he's going to do very well in life. That boy is my ticket out the ghetto. That's what I be saying. He my ticket out the ghetto. But all of them are. And I will invest in my children when they show me that they are responsible enough to take it on. So the other ones, when I talk about the drop shipping, I absolutely, once they show me that they can clean up their rooms, I'm investing. But it doesn't stop me from, pouring into them. It doesn't stop me from encouraging them. It doesn't stop me from telling them about the tenacity and the discipline that it takes in order to build, in order to grow. And so that's what we need to do. There are children all over the world, or all over the country, that are doing it. Let me give you another strategy, as your kids are in college. Okay. So one of the things that I've helped people do, is I help them purchase real estate. There's a thing called the kitty condo loan, and this is how you can make your child an investor. You could purchase a property in your kid's name. You are the co-signer. It's an FHA loan. You take 3.5%, right? So in college towns, I don't know how much these properties are in these college towns, but they're a lot, especially with HBCUs. They're in these smaller towns where the housing prices are really low. So you take 3.5% down. You could use probably maybe some of the college fund that you saved up for them, or maybe some of the student loan refund, and that could be a down payment. So now that you've taken this money, you've put it down on a property for your child. You've allowed them to stay in the property. Get some roommates up in there. You get a couple of them. They're paying the mortgage for you, right? So now by the time they graduate, not only do they graduate with a degree, but they also have some revenue generating property. And you could co-sign on that. It doesn't have to be owner occupied for you. It could be for your child. So that's another strategy in which you can help your child to really create a business. Once they get out, they could, as soon as they get out of college and they start working immediately, that those years in college count as employment time for them. So now that they could purchase other property, so they could use equity that's inside that property as leverage to purchase other property, and you can start them on to investing and generating wealth in that way. Ain't that a dope idea? Absolutely. So there's just so many things that you could do, but I just want you to just put your thinking caps on. The biggest thing as parents, I want us to keep an open mind with encouraging our children about the possibilities and the opportunities. Let them little ninjas know that if they could stay on TikTok all day scrolling, they can also be creating a business. Boom. Rue asked, Rue said, the internet is powerful. I built my business 100% off of social media. My real estate company, I remember when it was just Facebook. And I was doing a class for my agents, and I was telling them, hey, you should use, social media. And this was like back in 2015 or something like that. You should really need to use social media. And they were like, social media, like, why are you doing a class on social media? That ain't going to help us with our business. And so I always calculate where my business comes from. And at that point, I think it was 2015, I had made $3 million just off of Facebook alone. And that was just me saying, hey, congratulations to this client for buying this house. And then I got, 10 more clients. So the power of social media is very real. The power of the internet is very real. You don't have those barriers, the same barriers that you've had in other areas. 8% pay calling me. What's up, Dave Robinson? Lisa said, what did I call it? It's the kitty condo loan, where you can buy a property for your kid, and they'll go on owner occupied, as owner occupied. Somebody asked, oh, what's the assessment that I took? It was the Gallup's strengths, the top 5 strengths assessment. And that's actually one of the strengths assessment that I have the women of the Net 7 collective cohort take, because I really want to, and the idea of that is to show you how to operate in your strengths rather than your weaknesses. Like, it doesn't make sense for a lot of times people will try to do things that they're not good at or strong at, and they're wasting a lot of time. So let's figure out where you're strong at, and let's operate in that. And then let's partner with people who have your weaknesses. Let's hire people who have your weaknesses. Don't operate in things that you're not good at or that you're not strong at. Let's focus on what you are strong at. I already know. when I ain't strong at. And so it's easier for me to be able to focus on what I need to focus on because I know where my strengths lie. So, speaking of the Net 7 Collective, my goal and mission in life, and I would be remiss if I did not mention it, is to help Black women to be able to close the net to the wealth gap. And as I mentioned earlier, it's great because we're on track to close the wealth gap. I believe that within our community, it's going to take the Black woman. Just because I'm Black, that's my part in helping to close the wealth gap. So my goal is to help 100 Black women in 2023 increase their net worth by $1 million. That's through real estate and other investments and really figuring out where you are. I help you in the 5 most important areas in your financial life. And I give you a personalized blueprint or wealth map to take exactly what you do. You have a community of like minded Black women that are a part of this group, this cohort, that are helping you, encouraging you, loving you, building you up, speaking life into you, and all of those other things. It's a beautiful, beautiful community. So I am actually interviewing for the second cohort of the Net 7 Collective. If you are interested or you know somebody that's interested, send them my way. To have them go to my website, constancecarter.com, fill out the application, and then it'll take them over to my Calendly, which should have been mine because I came up with the idea, but I just didn't execute on it. And then I can interview you, and we can see if you're a good fit for the Net 7 Collective. Because my mission and my goal is to help you as Black women to be able to live your best life. And so that's what the Net 7 Collective is about. Callie said, Callie Bray said, how did do the kitty condo loan? I'm gonna do another live on that. I'm gonna do another video on that. But it's basically you co-signing, and we'll go a little bit more into depth on the kitty condo loan. But it's definitely something that you should be doing to help your kids to become investors. All right. So thank you. Share this out. Make sure you subscribe to the Fly Nubian Queen. Constance Carter. I am Constance Carter, CC, the CEO. Want to change your life? Come see me, yo. And make sure you share this to all your friends because we want everybody in the community. We want everybody all over to be able to have the same opportunities, and that's building wealth. I love you guys.